All right, good stuff. So what we're going to be talking about is getting to know your lead magnet. Now, why is this absolutely important? Because essentially, if you don't know your lead magnet, then you're not really going to be able to refer it to people. And basically, after this, what you're going to have an understanding of is first where to get your affiliate links for your lead magnet, which is a pretty simple explanation. But essentially, you'll know exactly what problem your lead magnet is actually solving, which is going to allow you to really understand, like, well, who exactly is going to, really benefit from that, which is essentially what else you're going to really take from this is who is benefiting, who's receiving this, and why, like what's the purpose. And naturally, it'll be something that you'll do to just share the lead magnet with the right person when you understand this, because it's not going to be some sort of salesy thing. It's not going to be driven by some sort of like, oh, I want to make money thing. We're going to really talk about how to actually share this in a way that you're really focusing on what we call accurate diagnosis. And basically what that is just a way of you helping somebody and not really being focused on yes, let's get them to buy something. Instead, really focusing on accurate diagnosis. So here's what we're going to cover. We're going to talk about getting your affiliate links. That is a very simple thing. Most of you probably already have your affiliate links if you have a product, but this is something obviously that's important and pertinent that we cover. So we're going to talk about how to get the links, how to use the links. We're going to also talk about getting to know the lead magnet and the problem, right? So we're going to show you how to learn the lead magnet like the back of your hand. We're going to go through some exercises together. Also, we're going to cover really just who is going to love the lead magnet that you've got, and who's really going to benefit from it. So we're going to design a picture in our mind of exactly who we really want to share this with. Now, the first step here, getting your affiliate links. I'm going to pop out for a sec. Does anybody have any questions on anything so far? It's pretty straightforward. Just drop a 1 in the chat box if you're with me so far. It's pretty straightforward stuff. Good stuff. All right. And how many of you have your affiliate links already? Curious. If you drop 2 in the chat box, if you have your affiliate links already, therefore, obviously you have a product as well. Drop 0 in the chat box if you don't, which is fine. It's perfectly fine. Nothing wrong with not having it. I'm just trying to get a little bit of a gauge. All right. Good stuff. Make sure, guys, that you're typing to all panelists and attendees so everybody could see. Yeah, good stuff. All right. So basically, when it comes to getting your lead magnet, you're going to have to get a link for that, right? So essentially, you're going to want to locate your links. That's the first step here. And basically, this is going to vary from product to product. This is not something that I can tell you, okay, this is exactly where you go to find your link. It's going to vary. Basically, there's so many different affiliate program types, and basically, they're all held on different platforms. So it's really up to the platform. But principalistically, if you can understand that this link is basically the first thing that you're getting, any sort of time that you're signing up as an affiliate, or you're going into some affiliate back office, or wherever it is that you can learn about affiliate with the company, if there isn't that sort of framework that's already in place, then that is what we'll cover in just a sec. But essentially, you should be able to find your affiliate link in your members area or in the back office of the product. Now, if you're unsure of where to find your affiliate link, you really can just simply ask the support of your company, or just ask the person who you spoke to about really being an affiliate, or the affiliate manager, or just any person on their team, and say, hey, I can't find my affiliate link for my lead magnet. Where can I find that? Or, hey, I can't seem to find my affiliate link in the back office area. Where can I find that? A lot of questions that you might ask yourself and you run into with different things is, okay, well, there's this technical thing that's an issue. And immediately you might think, okay, well, who can I ask to, get some help? Maybe I'll go in the Facebook group and I'll ask, or maybe I'll go and, I'll ask Steven, or I'll ask Andrew, or I'll ask Colleen, or whatever. But most of the time, a very fast and efficient way, just real quick, right off the bat, before you go and ask somebody else, is to just message support for the company that you have, or for whatever, for whether this is a software tool or anything. It's really helpful to just get support to do some work for you. And a lot of companies, the support of these companies, they're getting paid very well to basically handle problems. And you give them a problem, they're going to go and try and find a solution. So really leverage that. That's something when I first started that I didn't really think about that much. But my mentor at the time said to me, look, yeah, leverage support within these software companies or within these affiliate companies or whatever. Because a lot of people, they don't really. And if you do, they're going to actually help you out a lot. And also, who knows who you can get connected with within the company based off messaging their support and getting help. So once you have your link, it's time to obviously put yourself through the process. Opt into the lead magnet. See what the experience is like. Really assimilate yourself into that person's position as much as possible. Now, I'm curious for you guys watching. I see Shannon said when you exit chat, you have to click all panels again. Oh, okay. No worries. Curious for you guys watching. Is that clear? Does that make sense? In the sense that you really, I mean, have any of you had an issue with this? Any of you that have your affiliate product? Do any of you have your product but not have your link? And you can feel free and say, not me, or no, I have it, or whatever you want to just kind of acknowledge. And it's okay if you don't have either. If you don't have a product, obviously you're not going to have a link yet. That's completely different. However, if you do have a product, is there anyone in this group that has gotten a product but doesn't have their affiliate link? Type a 1 if you have the link and product, and type a 0 if you have the product but no link. All right, we're getting 1 from Jeremy. Tori says she has both. All right, pretty cool. I think this is pretty straightforward. I really just want to make sure everything's covered, and I don't want somebody to be like, oh, well, you know, I'm really confused on this or whatever. And if you are, there's no worries. Like, now is the time to really mention this, because what this is for is like any sort of thought that you guys have on that. Like, if anything's unclear, it's going to be really helpful for me to actually hone in on that a little bit more then, to make sure that you guys are fully understood. I'll assume that everything's good. Give you guys just a sec here. We're going to go ahead and move forward. All right. So once you find your link, put yourself through the process. So now the next step is getting to know your lead magnet. Now, what you want to do is you want to consume your lead magnet thoroughly. So what we're going to do is we're going to go through what I've created called the lead magnet specs sheet. And basically what you want to do is go through your lead magnet and consume it playing the interested buyer role. Interested buyer role. So what is that? Essentially, that's when you're literally pretending like, okay, look, I'm an interested person with, you know, I would look at this and I would want to buy this, right? So like, you're not being biased, but you're just playing this interested role as if you're somebody who's looking at your lead magnet. Fresh. So essentially what you'll do is you'll take notes as you go using this sheet. Now I can drop this sheet to you guys inside of the chat. However, I'd rather drop it to you guys without all my pre-written answers on it, just to make it easy for you. So that way you're not really just copying mine or something. You're making it really original for yourself. But basically what you want to do is fill out this sheet entirely. And once you fill this out, you're going to have a really good understanding of what problems your lead magnet's solving and how it solves them. So we're going to spend some time here and actually look at this. And again, I have put my own answers on here as an example, and we're going to run through those. And essentially, we used, as an example here, my lead magnet, which is the one that I'm promoting with Elevate Entrepreneurs. So this is our lead magnet. And a lead magnet can be, you know, a PDF. It could be a webinar, a VSL, you know, a video sales letter. It could be a lot of different things. But I use this as an example. And this sheet will apply to all lead magnets. So basically, here's the gist. The objective of this sheet is to just clearly reveal the problems that are being solved by your lead magnet. So the first step is to set aside some time. I know you guys are busy. I know some of the people in here are full-time in a job, but they're working on the side with this business. Some people in here are full-time on their business. Some people, are basically, really busy with other things. And essentially, it's important to set aside dedicated time to really consume and digest your lead magnet and not really be doing other things. Like put the phone away for a little bit, just really print this sheet out essentially, or just take the sheet and pop it on Google Docs, make a copy for yourself and type it in like I did. Whatever you're most comfortable with is really going to be helpful for you to really focus. So set aside the dedicated time to consume, mentally digest the lead magnet. And I don't just say this to have you guys fucking just do it for no reason. Like you're doing this because it's very important to really have a deep understanding, because it's going to allow you to better recommend it to others. So we'll get into that as well. But once you set aside some time, what you want to do is before you start watching the lead magnet or going through the lead magnet, I want you to kind of take a surface layer look at it. And basically, and if you guys have questions during this, feel free to raise your hand. I can see the chat, so feel free. Basically, step 2 is before going through the lead magnet, just at a surface level, I want you to answer a few questions. So what's the name of the lead magnet? Right? So obviously we go here, you're looking at your lead magnet. Most of the time, it's just going to be the name or headline or whatever of the PDF, the cheat sheet, the webinar, whatever freebie. It's just probably going to be the name. So that's a good tip right there that'll tip you off is basically, how to create a 6-figure online business without actually selling anything. All right, great. So that's the name of the lead magnet. Now, what's the flow of the funnel? This is important for understanding kind of how the process of like how somebody's going through it. And it's good to have mapped out. So for me personally with this is an opt-in page, right? So that would be the first step, opt-in. And we'll go ahead and we'll opt in. And then the next step is the training area, the webinar room. So basically the thank you page, the webinar room. And we'll go through again, apply now. The next page is a schedule page. Fantastic. I'll schedule a fake appointment here. And basically blah, blah, blah. We could go through this entire thing, and you're going to do that with yours, but for the sake of time, I think it'd just be more beneficial. You guys can probably understand, you just go through the funnel, go all the way through it. And from there, you'll be able to see, okay, there's the structure. Now I know kind of how this is set up. If you can't go all the way through it right away, maybe there's no button to get to the next part, or maybe you have to wait, maybe you have to watch a video and then the button pops up. Awesome. Just kind of get a brief overview of it. And basically that's the gist of that. That's really the purpose there. Just kind of see, okay, what are we dealing with here? And at first glance, I really want you guys to look and say, well, who do you think this lead magnet is aimed to serve? You haven't watched it or dived into it yet. If that's the case, then you really want to take a look and you want to say, okay, well, at first, who does this look like this is going to help? So I'm looking at this page and basically it says right here, training for digital entrepreneurs who want to travel. Okay, so boom. Who is it designed for? That seems like pretty straightforward, right? So there's no wrong answers here, guys, really. It's just getting you to be understood on what's going on here with your lead magnet. Now, the next step is actually to watch the lead magnet, consume the lead magnet, read the lead magnet, whatever it is. Basically, take notes as you consume the lead magnet. We'll remove from watch because sometimes it's not always a video. And basically what you want to do is just write down some different points, write down observations that you're making, and you can put that right here. So once you've done that, you basically went through, you sat down, you watched it, you took notes. You're really like trying to learn it and figure it out and see what's it actually doing. Then I want you to answer these questions after you've already watched, after you've taken some notes. So basically the first question here, what specific solution did the lead magnet claim to provide? Now, this is usually the same as the headline or the title of the webinar because that's pretty much just the case. Here we're talking about this is what we're going to show someone how to do in this video. How to create a 6-figure online business without actually selling anything. And these are the ways that we do it. So we're showing them the simplest way to 6 figures, the different paths to 6 figures, which ones are traps, the new vehicle 6 figures without doing any fulfillment. So basically, the specific solutions that will show you how to basically the simple model to building your first six-figure online business without selling anything. Pretty straightforward. And again, there's no wrong answers. So what solutions are being offered by the lead magnet? Now, you're going to want to go back to your notes and see, okay, what do we got going on here? Also, you maybe want to examine the funnel, like things like this. It says that it's offering this solution. It's offering this solution right here. And here's some of the ones that I wrote down off the top of my head. After watching and taking notes, showing people not to work more, right? Showing people the simplest way to six figures, showing people the new vehicle to six figures without any fulfillment, showing people not to put money on a pedestal, showing people how to advance beyond 10K a month through really unlocking the realistic opportunity for it to actually happen. Different things like that. You take notes from the video and you would actually go in and understand it very, very deeply. So you're filling out this. And the next question is, how does the lead magnet offer these solutions? What is useful about the lead magnet? Really, this is a question that you're asking yourself, like, why would someone care about this? Why would someone want to go through this? And really, by watching it yourself, you're going to get a good idea. If someone said to you, hey, you're like, hey, this could solve your problem. They're like, okay, well, why? What would you say? I would say because it draws out and explains a business model that doesn't involve fulfillment. And therefore, it can really allow for freedom and scalability for somebody with a realistic probability. And, for me, that's huge to understand. And I would think that anybody would really want to understand that information, especially someone who's crying out for help, which we're going to talk about in a few. So now, you're going to answer all these questions, right? Next question, who would want these solutions, right? Another way you can ask that is, who could be suffering from a problem that would cause them to benefit from this lead magnet? So you want to get your brain churning a bit. You want to start thinking, who could benefit from this? Watch the video again if you need to. Take more notes. And some notes that I took here is just, people who are stuck in their jobs who want out, right? People who are in agency or service-based businesses and want more freedom. People, students in college who want to create their own business and they're seeing Facebook ads for drop shipping and agencies, and they're going to get set up to really fail most likely with those because, like you guys all know, you're building yourself a golden palace with those business models. So for your specific lead magnet, who would want these solutions? Who could be suffering from a problem that would cause them to benefit from your lead magnet? And get creative, ask these questions deeply and really think about it. The next question is, now that you've finished consuming it, who would you say is this ultimately designed for? Who can this best serve? And I want you to describe the person, not just say, oh, it could be this guy. Like, describe this person. So here's an explanation here that I did, and very brief, but I would say that it's ultimately designed for people who are looking to get out of their current situation because they're less than 100% happy with it, or because they're not seeing success with what they're currently doing, as they unknowingly have the odds stacked against them from the start in most of the traditional online business models out there. So, I personally think that this lead magnet can best serve anyone who desires to discover the best business model for time freedom and for financial freedom. And that this business model can fuel future passion projects, which is so huge because as you progress, it allows you to really be able to work on things you're passionate about, even beyond just somebody else's product, but your own vision, your own philanthropy or your own company or whatever. You can have the resources to back that up through this business model because it doesn't involve time that you're spending to fulfill. Like I said, it's largely due to the fact that high ticket commissions combined with no need for fulfillment, which makes for the perfect business to fuel a dream. So that's why I think someone should watch the lead magnet. And that's why I think that it could best serve them and basically who it could best serve. So, you could describe them however you'd like. Some additional notes here, though, are basically that the purpose of the worksheet, this is really solely to allow you to understand your lead magnet really deeply. So we recommend watching your lead magnet multiple times. We recommend listening to it passively or reading it, when you get a chance, or going through it a lot, because the more you can deeply absorb in regards to how your lead magnet serves others, the better you can sell the lead magnet. Although in reality, you're not selling anything. You're simply genuinely recommending that lead magnet to a person who has a problem that you think the lead magnet can solve. So just remember, you're sharing the lead magnet with a person to benefit them by really helping them with their problem. This isn't about selling shit. This isn't about buying anything. This is about really like, look, this can help you. This really helped me. And to be honest, if you have a shitty lead magnet, then that's going to be tough. You need to have a good lead magnet. So it's really important that you do have a product that has a solid lead magnet, because if you don't believe in that lead magnet, then you're not going to get very far with it. You got to believe in it. You got to be like, this is a really good thing that I'm sharing with people, and you feel good about it. Remember, the lead magnet's designed to do the selling of the program, of the course, of the product, of the whatever for you. You are not selling the product yourself. You're never saying, hey, go buy his program. Hey, go buy her program. You're never doing that. You're just saying, look, this is really simple. I mean, you can say, yo, go buy this. This is a really good thing. But I'm talking like, you know, in the case that you're promoting here, a lead magnet, you're not selling the product. That's what a big mistake a lot of people make. They're like, oh, well, okay, cool. Well, now I've got this new product. Like, you know, for example, Manny, he had that sick DJ. I don't know if Manny's on the call right now, but he has that sick DJ product that he linked up with. And I mean, like, you know, that's awesome. So it's really easy to be like, yo, dude, this product's sick. But in reality, you really want to sell a lead magnet instead. You want to say, yo, like, check out this webinar from this guy. He's doing this. He's traveling. He's a DJ, and he's teaching people how to monetize their own DJ business, like through this webinar. It's really, really good, actually. And that'll be really powerful. Oh, I see Manny's on here. What's up, Manny? You know, so like that's just an example, but it's absolutely essential to really understand the problems that your lead magnet's solving, so you can know who to share it with and who will benefit from it most. And when you know that, then you can actually share it with them. So we're going to keep moving here. You guys will get access to the sheet, minus my answers. And basically, you'll be able to, you know, go through this video and utilize this yourself, but also we're going to be recording course footage with these slides, and you'll get all those resources and all that. So yeah, so once you fill that out, you'll have a really good understanding of what problems your lead magnet is solving. Now, again, touching base on this, you're never selling your affiliate product. You're only selling the free lead magnet. That's it. And this lead magnet then sells the affiliate product for you. It is a tool. All right. So now let's talk about who is this benefiting. Let's dial in a little bit more on this. But before we do that, are there any questions that anybody has in regards to what we just went over? Do you like this? Do you think this is helpful? Let me know in the chat box. All right. Nice. Okay. Shannon says very helpful. Bojangles is great. All right, guys. I appreciate that. Are there anybody have any questions about really, like, do you feel like this is going to help you? Drop a one in the chat box. Genuinely though. Only genuinely if you feel that that lead magnet sheet is going to help you better know your lead magnet. Getting it all out there, being concrete. Nice. Bunch of ones. Good stuff, guys. All right. Awesome. We are committed to making this the absolute best program that can exist in this realm, and giving you guys the absolute best content that can possibly be consumed inside of this program. So we're honing in on everything. And if there's anything that could be a little better, we're curious to know. We can talk more about that. If anybody wants to raise their hand or bring something up, honestly, and constructively, I really appreciate all of that. So basically, we'll keep moving for now because I want to keep this as close to an hour as possible, and we have one more presentation. But they're both content packed, and this is being recorded. All right, so drop back down. We're gonna go in present mode. I'm not gonna be able to see the chat just for a bit, but I'll come back. All right, so who does this benefit? That is a really, really important thing to think about, is who is this going to benefit? That's the question. So what problems is your lead magnet solving? That's the first thing. The goal is to know the answer to this as fast as you know your name. Like one of my mentors would say, really, like, you don't really know something until you know it as fast as you know your name. Like, because if someone asks you your name, you're not like, if I said to Bo, like, Bo, what's your name? He's not like, and like you forgot, like, you just know. So same thing with your lead magnet. You should know exactly what problem it solves. You should know the 3 points of the lead magnet. If it's a webinar, it's like, oh, what does your webinar do? Boom, boom, boom. What's your name? Boom. You know what I mean? So it's really important to understand that, because the better and more subconscious that is in your brain, the better, because it really all ties in. You're going to see this in a minute. We're going to start talking about this a little later, but it all ties in. So it's really important to know this as well as you know your name. And if you don't, that's fine. You just need to keep focusing and learning your lead magnet until you really understand it really well. And you can just, boom, yeah, this is exactly what my lead magnet does. It solves this, this, and this. The better you know that, the better you're going to be able to share it. And we'll dive into that a little bit more in just a minute. So again, who can your lead magnet benefit? Refer to the spec sheet and really determine who can best be helped by this lead magnet. Remember though, problem and solution. That is all that business is, okay? Problems and solutions. People have problems. Business owners, entrepreneurs create solutions for problems, right? That's literally it. Because a problem just causes so much pain that eventually someone's going to go and figure out a way to solve it for someone and charge appropriately. That's just the way that the world works. It's like, oh, there's an issue. I'm going to fix it. People are like, okay, it's too boring to just call taxis all the time and have to wait for the taxi and you don't know the guy and it's kind of weird. Someone's like, oh, well, let's just make taxis in an app and anybody could be a taxi. Uber, like huge solution. Airbnb, huge solution, right? I'm traveling. I need places to stay. Right now we're in a beautiful, we're on the 21st floor here of this place and the view of the entire city of Medellin. It's amazing. There's not a day that goes by that I'm not super grateful for. It's actually funny that somebody was here. I don't remember exactly who, but they were like, you guys just are always talking about how grateful you are for this view, which is just funny because really it's because Airbnb, like we just went on Airbnb and we found a place that we thought was cool. And we never would have been able to do that with such ease without that. So it's just a big problem and a big solution. That's all that business is. So people out there have problems, right? You figure out which problems your lead magnet solves. Therefore, you can hone in on the problems in general, and then you can see who has these problems. And then you can offer that solution. That's all that's happening here. That is the chemistry. That is the reaction that's happening. Problem, you're getting a solution for. Now, who has the problem that your lead magnet provides a solution for? What does that person look like? What do they do? Where do they hang out? We're going to dive into these questions a little bit deeper, but these are things you want to start thinking about. We're going to do another resource and worksheet on exactly where to find people like this, and we're going to talk about that more. However, right now, just really kind of thinking in your head, like, what does this person look like? Refer to the sheet. Where do they hang out? What do they do for work? Right? So essentially, here are the action items inside of this module. First, before moving on, you need to successfully attain your affiliate link to your lead magnet. You need to arm yourself with your link. Without that, you can't really do much. It's like trying to go into war without a gun, or trying to, basically, join bands without an instrument, right? So basically, that's the first step. You need that. Secondly, you want to fill out the entire lead magnet spec sheet. And once that's fully completed, this sheet will really create a clear reference for you and understanding of exactly who's benefiting from your lead magnet and the mechanism by which your lead magnet is actually solving a problem for that individual and easing them out of their pain. So here's some questions for you at the end of this module. And right now, I know you guys don't have these completed because you haven't even gotten the lead magnet spec sheet, but you'll get that after this. And this really is just incredibly helpful for me to actually go through and do this live with you all to make sure that we're getting the right feedback and that you guys are understanding. Because when I go and record this to put it inside of the program, it's going to be better. And overall, then you guys will be able to go through it like you should. But essentially, by the end of this module and before moving forward, you'll have wanting to basically create or finish your lead magnet spec sheet, totally complete that. Obviously have your affiliate links, but also you want to basically confidently say to yourself, okay, I understand my lead magnet. I understand the problems it's solving and I know who it's helping. And of course, at first, you're not going to be like, boom, boom, boom. Like, I know exactly all those things. Maybe at first you're just going to figure it out on the lead magnet sheet. Then maybe later on, you're going to start to feel like, okay, I kind of know it. And then you keep going through that sheet. You keep referring to that. You have it pinned up in your room and printed out or whatever. It's always on your desk. You know it. You're letting it sink deeply into your subconscious. And then sooner than later, you'll be able to say, boom, What's your name? Oh, my name's Bo. Oh, my name's Manny. Oh, my name's Sarah. Oh, my name's Steven. Great. And just like I know it like my name, I'll be like, okay, boom, my lead magnet solves this problem, this problem, this problem, right? That's the ultimate goal. So the better you know your lead magnet, the better you can learn who to help with it. So learn your lead magnet like the back of your hand, and it will be genuine and natural to share if you believe in it. So right now, that's the end of this module. We have one more presentation here to kind of segue all this. So basically, that is that. So I'm going to open up the chat here. Okay, so question, whom it benefits should be a direct relation to your customer avatar. Yes, absolutely. So basically, whom it benefits is your customer avatar. And we're just essentially doing another customer avatar exercise here, but in a different way. So absolutely. Does anybody have any other questions before we dive in to week 2, module 2, which is the last presentation here, and we're going to try and finish up within an hour. I'm not promising that, but this is a bit of a longer presentation. There's another worksheet and exercise, but this is going to be a good time. So if you guys are ready to rock, drop a 1 in the chat box. If you have any questions, raise your hands and I can bring you over, or we can chat about it in the chat. All right. And I see Jason asked a question here. So how would we go about getting an affiliate link from somebody selling a high-ticket course that isn't a major company? So basically, man, we did a training on that, and it's inside of the community right now. Also, Andrew's going to be posting exact video to answer that question within the next 24 hours. He's literally editing it as we speak. I'm watching him do it. And that will answer that question. However, also inside of the current course, if you just go through the first steps on finding a product, we'll list out the different ways that you can go about finding these high-ticket courses. And most of that is through Facebook groups, through looking up in different search engines, everything like that, and then reaching out and actually doing the due diligence to reach out. So again, guys, Jason didn't type that to the whole group. He did type that just to the panelists, which is just me, I believe. I'm not sure. Yeah. Make sure you type in all panelists and attendees. Tori says, just to make sure I understand, we aren't selling the product, but our lead magnet that will generate interest for a salesperson. Depending on your offer, it will basically, the first part there is absolutely correct. You're not selling the product. You're selling the lead magnet. And that's the key. That's how you're not selling anything and it's not salesy. You're just recommending the lead magnet genuinely because it's a solution to a problem. And then that lead magnet's job is to get that person into the sequence or into the sales call or into the thing or whatever to make them get to the point where they can get to a decision on whether or not the deeper level of the lead magnet, which is an actual solution that can be purchased, is a good fit or not. Does that make sense, Tori? Feel free to ask another question, or if that doesn't make sense, feel free to let me know. Okay, cool. All right, Jason, hope that made sense as well. Nice. All right, guys, can you all hear me clearly? I know I'm getting some comments here that the audio is kind of chopping up a bit. I want to make sure you guys can hear me. I do see another question here from Anthony Cortez. He says, what should we do if we speak with someone for a product, but they want history of working funnels? So I'm assuming that somebody is basically that you're saying, hey, I would love to promote your product. And they're like, okay, cool. Well, what other products have you promoted that have worked? I would just always turn to this. Basically, I would say, look, I'm going to utilize direct response marketing to promote. And if you don't have a list of funnels that you've already used, just tell them that. Just be honest. Say, look, like I don't have that. But I'm learning from somebody who's teaching me. I've invested into myself to learn, and your product looks like a great fit. If not, that's totally fine. I totally understand, but I genuinely think your product's awesome, and I would love to help other people to experience it. And just share that genuine sort of vibe with that person. Right on. Okay, so yeah, if the audio is chopped a little bit, sorry about that, guys. We are on this Medellin Wi-Fi. but we're supposed to have 50 megabits per second. However, you know how that goes. Yeah. So, all right, let's get started, guys. 7:43. I'm going to close out the chat. I'll pop back in just a few. All right. So by now, you've got your lead magnet. You've got your links. You've got everything that you need. Now all you got to do is you've also figured out too, who's got these problems? What are the problems my lead magnet solves? Who's got the problems? Now we're going to talk about sharing your solution with the people who have the problems. Finding those people and sharing that solution with them, how to do so. And we're going to cover some really, really awesome stuff. So after this module, you'll know where to find the people who deserve your product solution and where they're hanging out online. We're also going to really go over something cool. Your brain's going to be able to really be primed at this point to spot opportunities to share your lead magnet organically, which is huge. So we're going to go over that. And you might be thinking, wow, like that's interesting. Yeah, so we're going to go over some interesting stuff because you really want to prime your brain. Because if you could do that, that's the whole purpose of the lead magnet spec sheet as well, is to really get you in the zone where you have a subconscious understanding of this thing. It's not just like a top layer understanding. So we're going to talk about how to prime your brain to spot the opportunities to really share organically and in a genuine way. We're going to show you the 3 different ways that a brand can share a lead magnet and which is best suited for you. We'll also talk about essentially if you don't want to show your face, different ways that you can organically get some proof of concept as well without showing your face, which is huge. Essentially too, after this module, you'll have learned the tried and true methods proven through over 500,000 in organic revenue online, which is amazing to be able to say and amazing to be able to genuinely teach you guys, because this isn't something that we've taught explicitly. It's almost like we've gone over it, but not as well as we possibly could to let people really understand these methods because they have driven us so much organic revenue over the last couple of years that basically they are proven to work. When we show them to new people, it always works if they understand how to do it correctly. And it's just very, very, very powerful. Like a great example, Hannah Gardner came into this program and basically she's utilizing the organic methods taught in the course you have access to right now on Facebook. And we're going to go over that as well in this presentation here, but she's using them right now to not only build her YouTube following, which she's up to like a couple hundred subscribers starting from scratch very recently. That's not completely due to the organic, but a huge part of it is just building this organic audience where you can constantly have leads, constantly have people in your inbox that you're talking to and sharing your lead magnet with. And she's been able to do, I'm pretty sure, just shy under 10K in profits this month. So really shout out to Hannah. I don't know if she's on this call right now, but shout out to her for really crushing it with these methods. And that's just one example. We showed some of this to a few other people. For example, we showed it to Brett, and Brett was able to get literally hundreds of leads overnight one time with using this method for his first time. So we're going to talk about a few different methods there. Also, by the end of this module, providing you've got your lead magnet dialed in, you'll be ready to earn your first commissions with your chosen product using the methods that we're showing you organically, so that way you can find your proof of concept. So here's what we're going to cover. We're going to talk about finding the congregations. Basically, we're going to show you where to find congregations of people who have the pain that your lead magnet solves and how to attract them. We're going to go over your reticular activating system, and we're going to talk about how to prime your brain for success with organic lead gen based off of really leveraging your RAS, your reticular activating system, which it's a part of your brain, very small part of your brain that is responsible for a very important, very, very important task. And we'll talk about that. So really, really huge. We're going to also talk about the frames that you'll want to take. Like basically every single one of you will be different when it will, not necessarily, but you'll all think differently when it comes to your frame. There's only 3 different types of frames a brand can really use to share a lead magnet. We're going to go over those, and you'll decide which one is really kind of your style. So also, we're going to talk about, obviously, the methods for sharing. We're going to dive deep on this, and we're going to explain these methods that have literally driven us over 500,000 in revenue online without spending a dime. And basically, with those methods, you're going to be able to cover how to earn your first commissions without a funnel. So you're basically going to learn like, okay, look, I don't need a funnel. I can just earn some commissions really fast, find my proof of concept, and then, not in this video, but in the next module, in the next week, what we're going to be covering is building your funnel and building out a simple bridge and keeping congruency and different things like that. But in this video, we're only going to be talking about sharing and getting your first commissions. And from there, once you've got a proof of concept, that's when you can really start building a structure around it. Not before that, because otherwise you're scaling a broken system. You really want to find your proof of concept. And as long as you have that, then you can go about actually building the structure around it. So essentially, like I said, unlocking your proof of concept. Once you've made your first few referrals, you've unlocked your proof of concept. At this point, you are definitely ready to start fortifying it. Now, I'm going to zoom out real quick. Do we have any questions on any of that so far? Are you guys ready to dive in? If you're ready to dive in, drop a 1 in the chat box, and we'll get rolling in just a sec. Nice. All right, cool. All right, so first thing we're going to cover is finding the congregations. So basically, this is huge because this is going to allow you to know where to look to basically find people who have the problems that your lead magnet is solving. So what are congregations? They're basically clusters of people all hanging out in one spot, most of which are a great fit for what you have to share or offer in the case that we're speaking of. In reality, a congregation is simply a cluster of people or a cluster of objects. But in this case, we're talking about really people hanging out online, and we're going to figure out where they're hanging out, whether it's Facebook group or blog or a forum or LinkedIn group, whatever it is, all pertaining to your chosen niche. And we're going to show you really how to identify. So basically, a term we've coined is the problem to magnet match. And essentially what this is, PTMM, is when a person in a congregation is basically matched up by they have a problem that your lead magnet solves. So it's a problem to magnet match. And basically, you want to find the people in your congregations that you're searching through. It's like, imagine you're like, okay, you can go to this club and there's like 1,000 people there, but you're looking for the people with a certain, you're looking for the match, right? You're not looking just for anybody there. You're looking for the people in that congregation who can really be a match. So it's like you're going to this big club of people, but you're looking for the specific person with the PTMM, the problem to magnet match. So that way you can offer that to them in a way that you're not jumping out in front of them saying, hey, take this. Instead, you're attracting it, and you're basically allowing them to first raise their hand and say, oh, I have a problem. And then you're offering a solution in a non-salesy, very genuine way. So congregations are everywhere. And it's really important to get clever and really dig deep and think about where people who have a PTMM for your lead magnet might be hanging out, and then go discover. So we're going to actually go through the congregation discovery sheet, and we're going to talk about really how to dig deep on where you can find the people who have a problem to magnet match with your lead magnet. And again, you guys will get this. You guys will get this at the end of the webinar. And again, it's not going to have my answers in them. So again, we are using this for the Affiliate Accelerator lead magnet, just because you guys are all familiar with that one. And basically, this sheet, and we'll X out here. Here, we'll bring that open again. Okay, so basically the objective of the worksheet is to identify where people are congregating and hanging out, and not just anybody. You want to find the people who have a problem to magnet match with your lead magnet inside of those congregations. So you want to find out first, where are these people hanging out? And secondly, how many of them have a problem to magnet match with my lead magnet? So the first step, bring up the lead magnet spec sheet, right? That would obviously be a good idea, and use it for reference. So basically, the first question here is, where do you suppose these people who have the problems that your lead magnet solves congregates or hangs out? And honestly, a lot of these places are Facebook groups, blogs, forums. I love Facebook groups because it's like everyone's just raising their hand saying, hey, I have this problem, or hey, I'm interested in this. And you can go in there and you can really do some really awesome stuff. And we're going to show you those methods in just a bit. But for now, where do these people hang out? And just give yourself some of those, some questions, really. Just like, okay, look, like, where would they go? Like, if I were them, what would I do? And refer to this. refer to this. I'd be like, oh, okay, this guy, they're probably in travel groups, or they're probably in groups like ClickFunnels or Kartra, or places where online sales funnels are built, or course creator groups or high ticket groups. Right. So a couple of ideas I had: ClickFunnels, Art of High Ticket Sales group, 67 Steps, like Ty Lopez group, LinkedIn agency groups could really benefit. So essentially then the next question would be, after you figured out like, all right, well, where are these people hanging out, and you're doing your research. And it's as simple as this, right? Like just go inside Facebook, and really it is as simple as, like, if you're in the fitness niche, like you type in fitness for men or whatever, and it'll bring up, just use the Facebook search engine. It's really, really simple. It'll bring up different groups. You just go to groups, and, even the small groups, like as long as they're active and they've got posts, like this one's 93. This is a movement started by men, made for men. Like this is more than just simply a workout support group. You want to make sure you're going in there, but like, and being, respectful. And obviously really small groups probably aren't the best, but when you have groups that like have a bunch of posts, they're really powerful to go in there and start seeing, okay, obviously this is where my target market's hanging out. There could be tons of different examples. Like you could do, personal finance for, millennials. See, nothing crazy. Finance for millennials. Who knows? Maybe that's an emerging niche there. Maybe I spelled millennials wrong. Probably. Not sure. Oh, looks like I did. There we go. Millennial finance. It's pretty interesting. So like just different stuff like that. Just do some searches and make some groups. Go on LinkedIn, do the same thing, search groups. I like Facebook better, personally, but LinkedIn definitely works. You can use Google, and you could basically go to Google and search different forums, find forums, maybe go to Reddit, find forums. But I like Facebook the best because it's really like they're all there, and Facebook's a very native platform to me. So I like Facebook the best. You might like something different, but basically find where they're hanging out, list it out. Doesn't have to be perfect. This is just spitballing here. Now, what do they look like? Really design in your mind. Who does this person look like? Like if you were to see a tiny little Facebook picture of them, like, how you see like sometimes the same person commenting the same stuff and you notice it because they're same picture. It's like a same little color or something. Imagine like, what does this person look like? Like if you were to look at their Facebook page, like, can you see what they would look like? And just kind of describe it. And for us personally, for this, it's not really, really what I came up with is that they look like normal, hardworking people, right? Like people who may have families, who may be single, who may have a girlfriend, boyfriend they really love, but they're really all driven by freedom deep down, and really want to create that freedom through building a business. And most of these people, they really haven't figured out what business is best for them yet. And really they're probably, working in a job or in a business that they're less than 100% happy with. So that's what I come up with for this. And what you come up with, again, there's no wrong answers. This is just to simply dig deep. Now, what do they do? Do they work a job? For me, I figured out, look, like most likely they're either working a job they're less than 100% happy with, or they're in a business they're less than 100% happy with, and they're really driven by freedom in their heart. That's why they would be watching this. And that's what they can benefit from, is in that. Now, what problems do they have in their business or at work? This is huge because you want to ask yourself, like, what problems does this person have? Or in life in general. What problems do they have? Problems that they want solved. And ideally a problem that your lead magnet solves. So figure out what problems they have. So I'm, just spitballing here. Not enough leads. Need help getting more clients. Not 100% happy with their job or their business. Always on the go to get more clients or get more productive. But they're not feeling like they're being pulled. They're pushing hard and to do that work. And basically they're being pushed by financial circumstances or family circumstances or some outer circumstance. And, these people, they have problems with their webinars, their funnels, their sales process. They have an overall problem understanding how to run a business that can really make them happy. And that's, my answer here. So, you guys, obviously you're going to have your own answer and your own thought, but these are just, me getting a little vulnerable with you guys and showing you, what I would say in this case. So, what are their fears, right? Another thing, what are their fears? You want to start asking these deep questions. What are the fears of the audience? Well, maybe, for us, for me in this case, for people coming through this lead magnet, I would be thinking, people they're fearing growing old. They're fearing not getting to explore, not getting to live the dreams that they have in their heart. They fear that they don't want to, they're not going to be able to live life while they're here, or that they're not going to have success in their current business, or that they fear not having to, or fear having to work in their current business or job forever because they're really not happy with it. And, you guys are going to answer these questions too, and they're going to get pretty deep. What do they think about when they wake up in the morning? What do they think about before they go to sleep at night? And again, there's no wrong answer here. This is really for you to dig deep and begin to speculate about what a person looks like who has a problem to magnet match with your lead magnet. And again, really get deep. They think about their families, their loved ones, their clients. When they wake up in the morning, they think about first thing about their clients, maybe. And I can imagine, it's like if you got 100 agency clients, you waking up and you got 100,000 emails from all of them. And they're all saying, hey, fix this, do this. They're worried about that. They're worried about those clients dropping off and then their monthly revenue tanking and, not being able to pay out certain things or pay for certain bills, or they might get anxiety when they think about their clients because of the amount of work they associate to it. And they might think, okay, when they wake up, now time to dive in. And basically they know that their day isn't going to make them happy. They're not excited. And that's what I would be thinking maybe. This is all speculation, but you got to start somewhere. So what do they think about before they go to sleep? Think about the day. Think about how it's flown by so fast, how time's slipping, right? Like all these things. They're all different reasons and deep-seated fears of insecurity about future because of the current business, of the current job. And you really, these people want to live their dreams. They want to have that feeling of freedom and are really motivated to make it happen. And even though they just don't know really how to do it, they're really motivated. So like I said, there's no wrong answers. This is for you. And you'll get this sheet without my answers on it. And we'll get that to you at the end. But we'll pop back in here. So essentially, once you complete that sheet, you really dig deep on, who this person is, why they have a problem to magnet match. And really, like, if you can dig deep, then you can really notice them from afar. So next, we're going to talk about your reticular activating system. So now at this point, you've already figured out, okay, this is where these people are probably hanging out. You've got the sheet filled out. But first, we need to cover the reticular activating system because this is super important. Because in layman's terms, what this is, and we'll call it the RAS. The RAS is basically the gatekeeper of information that's let into your conscious mind. All right? So let's really understand that. What it is it's basically the part of your brain that filters out the unnecessary and only processes what you're deeming as necessary. So right now, I'm looking out this window at this view, and there's about 100,000, what it looks like, different windows of people's house in their building. And my brain simply can't process all of them. It's impossible. There's so much sensory information outside of you that in your environment that your brain can't physically process all of it at once. That's why you have your RAS. That's one of the main reasons, basically. And like I said, it's basically the gatekeeper of information that's let into your conscious mind because your subconscious will process all of it, but your conscious mind can only process and selectively pick certain bits. So because you're RAS, you're able to selectively process certain stimuli among the thousands of stimuli you're receiving at any given moment. So this allows your brain to select and focus upon different stimuli within your environment. You might be thinking, well, what the hell does this have to do with my lead magnet? Well, let's really complete a quick exercise together to really think and really understand this. So what I want you guys to do is right now, I want you to pull out your phone and I want you to set a timer on your phone for 15 seconds. All right? So I want you guys to pull out your phone and I want you to set a timer. All right, I'll give you guys just a second. Pull out your phone, set a timer for 15 seconds. All right. So now once you have the timer ready, what I want you to do, and this is just an exercise to really prove a point, I want you to take notice to everything you see in the room that's green. And I want you to count as many green colored objects as you can in 15 seconds. And we'll see who gets the most. All right, so we're going to set a timer. I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to set a timer right now on my phone. and we're going to do this. All right, ready, set, go. All right, boom. So I found about 9 green things in my vicinity. Now, the real question is, keep that number in your head, whatever you found, but how many red objects did you find? That's the question. How many red objects did you find? Because your brain was looking for green. So it immediately bypassed anything red, and it just didn't notice it. It most likely, too, what you did is you saw things. Like I saw this turquoise clock that I'm looking at, kind of looks green. So I did count that in my 9, which in reality, it's actually turquoise. And your brain will do that as well. It will actually morph what is there into what you want to see. So the reason that you've done that is because your RAS has been primed to do so. I primed you to say, look, look for everything that's green. Look for everything that's green. Look for everything that's green. Go, 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 go. And then you're looking green, green, green. You're even calling things that aren't really green, green in the effort of winning or doing it. And basically, when I ask you how many red objects you find, the answer is 0, most likely, because you weren't looking for that. So basically, I want to see if that makes sense to you guys. I'm curious if you guys, if that worked for you, because really the point there is that essentially you're really priming your brain to find what you're looking for. So that's why we're really going deep on who is it that your product is really helping and what problem does it solve and who is that person and where are they hanging out and really picturing them. So that way, when you see somebody who's crying out for help or you see someone who's like, oh, well, this is the case of my situation. You're like, oh shit, my lead magnet can help them. Or, oh, look, I know that I can help them with this, or I can refer them here, or I can send this, right? And we'll talk about how to talk with these people. But for now, that's really the major point there. So basically, here, we'll go back here. All right, cool. So another example is like, have you ever wanted a new car? Or your friend got a car, or you saw a car on TV and you're like, that's a sick car. I remember seeing an Alfa Romeo for the first time. And then all of a sudden, I'm seeing this car everywhere. Like, do you think that I'm like some magician? Or do you think that the car maybe was just already there and now I'm just starting to notice it? Another thing is like, have you ever learned a new word? Like a new word that you've never heard before. Like I'm learning Spanish words when I'm here, especially like different words that people only really in Medellin say. And then like I learned this word, I think it was mijo. Andrew, is mijo, right? I don't know if Andrew can hear me. Basically, it's like a word that people here use, I think to say like my boy. It's like mijo, mijo. And now I'm hearing it everywhere. But I just learned it. So it's not like I wasn't hearing it before, but now I'm hearing it everywhere. So you know what I mean? It's because you're noticing it. It's not because it wasn't there before. It's because you're noticing it. So now that you've filled out your congregation discovery sheet, I mean, ideally at this point you would have, but you guys obviously haven't because you don't have it. But essentially, now when you fill that out, what you're doing is you're dialing in your RAS to find who within the congregations that you find is a problem to magnet match. So pull up that sheet, and at this case, we can pull it up again, and basically we'll look at the answers that we provided, and really now we'll look at them a little differently because this is what it's going to allow you to notice when people are out there crying for help and when you can help them with the lead magnet. So before we dive in on the frames, let's just take a look here. Shannon says the buying spectrum. Not really sure. Not really sure. I don't know what that means exactly. So feel free to elaborate on that. But yeah, and also I hear it in New Mexico all the time. Yeah, man, I don't know. There's all these little words here that people, they think it's funny when gringos like me say it. So it's pretty interesting. But basically, now that we're looking at this, it's like, okay, they're in the ClickFunnels group. They're hardworking people. So now I can know, like, okay, I know to keep an eye out for this certain kind of person that is hardworking, but really isn't exactly figured out where they want to be. They haven't really exactly figured out how to do this. I can keep an eye out for all of this. And especially for these problems here, like not enough leads, need help getting more clients, people complaining about this sort of stuff, or people saying, hey, I need help with this sort of stuff. And I can recommend them properly, organically. Does that make sense, guys? Drop a 1 in the chat box if this is making sense. Okay, cool. Drop a 0 in the chat box if you're kind of confused on something and you have a question. Okay. Doesn't seem like any of you guys are confused. Seems like you're pretty good. All right, let's keep rolling. We'll probably finish here around 8:30 Eastern time, so in about 20-something minutes. That'll be the goal. All right, so pull up that sheet, right? Take a look and make sure, like, all right, look, now I know what to really look for. So now that you know what to look for, really there's 3 ways to really kind of share with somebody this opportunity. So now that you know where your people with a product or a problem to magnet match are, and basically, you know where they're congregating, your RAS is dialed in, it's time to start sharing your lead magnet with these people. And it's actually very, very simple to do this in a non-salesy, non-scammy, non-weird, genuine way, which is so key. Genuine. That's the key. Like if you learn anything from this whole program, it's just be a genuine marketer, because it'll get you very far. So basically, these are the 3 frames in which to share from. And your frame is going to depend basically on your relation to the industry that your lead magnet's in. So there's the student frame, there's the helpful frame, and then there's the expert frame. So we're going to dive into each one. So the student frame. Now, this is most of you probably. And basically, there's nothing wrong with any of the frames, and not one is better than the other. It's just basically the question that most people have is like, okay, well, I'm new to this and I want to share stuff with people, but why would anyone listen to me? And it's because you're a student. That's why they should listen, because you're spending time doing the due diligence. So the student frame is basically when you're new to the industry, so you don't really have any results or expertise. However, what you do have is the amount of time you've spent doing due diligence in finding the best resource that you can to solve the specific problem at hand, aka the problem that your lead magnet solves. Therefore, you can genuinely recommend it. So basically, a lot of people are like, well, I don't know anything, or I'm new and I don't have results. How am I supposed to share? Well, that's a great question. And basically the answer is you don't lie and say that you have results. Instead, you just say, look, like, just very simply, and we could do this right now as well. And actually, I'll pull out of here really quickly. We'll pull up Facebook. Anthony says it cut out. Can you guys hear me? It's not going to let me know when it cuts out. All right. Good stuff. Good stuff. Let's pop in Facebook again. And since I said on this sheet that ClickFunnels is probably a good group, then that's, oh, it looks like we're over here. Whatever. Oh, looks like there we go. Second here. Okay, cool. ClickFunnels. So let's go take a look in ClickFunnels. Let's see what's going on in here. Let's see if there's any opportunity in here for me to essentially be a student and refer my lead magnet as a student to someone who's asking for some help. Okay. Feedback on this copy. Looking for some help. It could be interesting. I'm going to scroll it briefly, but what you can also do, oh, here we go. I'm rock bottom. I need a business with 0 invest. I don't know if that's really the best person, but the thing is that you're not going to basically take this approach with this person for them. It's really for the traffic of everybody else. And you know what? What I'm going to do is I'm actually going to explain all the frames first, and then we'll go through and we'll talk about the different methods, and I'll show you some different ways to basically approach as each. But it's very simple. The student approach is basically saying, look, I don't have results, and that's perfectly fine, because what I've done is I've spent a lot of time figuring out what is the best resource that can really help solve this problem. And I truthfully believe that this person here, this company here, this blah, blah, blah here is genuinely the best at solving this problem, and you should definitely check it out. That's the student frame. We're going to dive deeper on templates on how to say that in just a minute. Now, the next frame is the helpful frame. And basically, this is kind of like the student frame, but it's a little different. Basically, what it is that you're not necessarily a newbie, but you can be. Really, the goal of the helpful frame is just that you're being helpful and you're contributing your opinion in order to share value from a frame that's not necessarily saying, oh, I've been there before, I've accomplished it, I've accomplished the result, but instead it claims that you're just providing information that you found helpful. So it's like, yo, look, like you have this problem, and I totally like have done a ton of research there as well. And this would be really helpful for you. I would definitely check this out. I think you would really benefit from it. It's not saying like, hey, like I'm learning, blah, blah, blah. Instead, it's just cutting to the chase saying, hey, look, this would be helpful. You should really check this out. And it's basically your lead magnet. And you'd be like, yeah, like, and again, we're going to go over the methods on how to share, but it's basically just like, yeah, like, check this out. I can shoot it over to you if you'd like. It's going to be really helpful. And that's the helpful frame. Now, the expert frame is really when you're basically someone who has lots of experience in the industry in which your lead magnet comes from. So with this frame, you can confidently say and recommend different things based on that. We recently just had somebody join the community. His name's Paul, and he's in the acting niche, and he has lots of experience, years and years of experience in this realm. It's a perfect example because, say he joins some sort of affiliate product that is an affiliate acting product, like it's an acting course or coaching community or something. And, realistically, he can say, look, like I've been doing this for 20 years. I've been doing this for 10 years. I've been doing this for 5 years. And this is by far the best program out there to do XYZ or to get XYZ results and blah, blah, blah. And you could say, look, like this is great due to this expertise that I, have. I could say that this is great with confidence, and look at the results it's done. And you could say, look, these are the results I've gotten in my field, in this field in the last XYZ time. And basically then you could say, look, like I confidently give this my stamp of approval. You should check this out. And someone's going to be like, oh, and most people right now, most of you probably can't really come from this frame, but there always will be a select few people who are working in a niche like that. Like Manny working with DJing, he's been DJing a while. If he really can rep this guy and say, yo, this guy's like legit, like that's an expert frame right there. He's like, yo, I've been DJing and I've done this a lot, and like I'm monetizing my business as a DJ, blah, blah, blah. I mean, that's just an example. I'm not saying Manny's doing that, but for example purposes. So always remember this regardless. And again, we've covered this a couple times, but really, you're never selling your affiliate product. You're only selling the free lead magnet. This lead magnet then sells the affiliate product for you. So anytime that you're taking any of these frames, you're never selling anything. That's the beauty of it. The expert frame, the helpful frame, or the student frame. None of it is selling anything. All you're doing is saying, hey, I recommend this in this way. I recommend this because I'm learning and I've done my due diligence to really see that this will work, and I really believe in it. You should check it out too. It's really good. Or it's like, oh, well, this will be really helpful because the problem you have, this I've done, research, and I can see that this is extremely helpful for you, and I would recommend this. It's not necessarily saying that you're learning, you're like new, but it's a little different. And the expert frame obviously is what we just went over. Someone who has experience, they can basically say, look, I confidently recommend this because I'm the shit. I got experience here. You should trust me because of it. I've done this, that, and this, right? And again, you're not selling the affiliate product yourself. You're only selling the lead magnet. Then the lead magnet will sell the product for you. So now, methods for sharing. We're going to cover the methods in which we use to share things organically that consistently work. If you put this method or any of these methods to work, you will see results. There is no question about it. They all work, and it's amazing. But you have to put in the work. And yes, it is organic. So, that does involve getting out there and doing some shit. It's not like you're just setting up the ad and then you're kicking it back, drinking a Mai Tai all day. First, you got to figure out your proof of concept. And then you could do all that cool shit. You could do the laptop lifestyle stuff and bring your laptop to the beach and ruin it or whatever. Because in reality, no one brings their laptop to the beach, by the way. No one who does this shit. Like Andrew and I, not once, I don't think have brought a laptop to actual sand. It's a pretty stupid idea. So no one should do that. But reality, you can get to the point where you don't need your laptop. But first, you got to start organic. First, you got to get that proof of concept. So, methods. Now, there's 4 different methods we're going to cover. We're going to go pretty in depth. So this might take a little bit longer, but we're not going to go past 2 hours. Regardless, really, this has generated us so much revenue overall, this first one here, Batmaning. And it sounds funny. It's Batmaning. What the hell does that mean? I'm going to explain that. Basically what it is it's a real legitimate hack on the human psyche. And it can yield hundreds of hot leads at once, literally overnight. Like, it's insane, but it's the truth. And it works every single time without fail when done correctly. The beautiful part is that when done incorrectly, probably no one will see it or notice. When done correctly, it's like setting off TNT. It's amazing. So basically, that's the first one. We're going to cover that. Facebook organic. We're going to cover organic strategies to get your message in front of people who can benefit from your lead magnet, that basically you can use Facebook's personal page or a business page in order to actually do this. Mostly, though, it is a personal page thing. Batmaning can be done with a business page. However, you've got to be very swift. But basically, these organic strategies can get your message in front of people. And none of this is like bothering anyone. You're not going out there and bothering people. This is all what is called attraction marketing. We don't do any marketing where we're really going out there and hitting people up, because it just takes too long and it's just kind of a bore. Instead, we do attraction-based marketing. So all of this is attraction-based. So you would attract people basically that would be interested to you, track them into your inbox. And when you do that, you can control the conversation via DMs. So we're going to talk about DM game and basically how to really control the conversation inside the direct message area inside Facebook and the Facebook Messenger. So we're going to show you the simple way to understand the conversation and basically how to react appropriately, how to control the conversation, how to keep yourself out of reaction and keep the conversation going in a positive way that's not wasting time. Now, finally, we're going to talk about comment ladders, which are a really fast way to draw lots of low-hanging fruit leads and or leads that are in a lot of pain. They might not be necessarily low-hanging fruit to you, but they're in a lot of pain. They've really got a huge problem to magnet match with your lead magnet, and they'll draw right in, like literally like mosquitoes to like a light, like literally, but in a better way because they're getting a solution, getting help. So less gruesome, I guess. But essentially, low-hanging fruit. Do you guys know what low-hanging fruit means? Just real quick. Drop a 1 in the chat box if you're familiar with this term, low-hanging fruit in sales. Okay, so we got one person who says no idea, so I'm going to go ahead and explain it. It's basically that when you have an audience of people, out of those people, there's going to be some people that are like ready to buy, some people that are ready to have a solution, some people that know they have a problem, they're ready to solve it. That's low-hanging fruit because they already know you, ideally, a little bit. And, people with a lot of pain, I wouldn't consider necessarily just low-hanging fruit. More so, I consider low-hanging fruit like when someone is basically really like aware of a problem that they know that you can help them solve, and then they're basically just convert real quick. So we're going to go over that. All right. First thing, Batmaning. Now, what is Batmaning? Again, this has generated us a lot of revenue without spending any money, and it's legitimately a hack on the human psyche. And it works every single time when it's done correct. So the first step is you go to a Facebook group where your target market's hanging out. For example, it could be ClickFunnels, right? In this case, for our example that we've been going on. Secondly, you search keywords in the group for posts where people are asking questions that your lead magnet helps solve. And then you basically make sure the question's related to the solution that your lead magnet offers. and then you comment on those posts. Most people are like, okay, I joined this Facebook and I made a post and I told everyone about my product and no one's answering. No one's paying attention. Well, it's because no one's going to pay attention to a post that most likely no one's going to see, first off. And secondly, if no one knows you, who gives a shit? Like, no one's going to care if they don't know you already. So instead, hack that by just commenting on a post that's already got traffic. It's already got eyeballs. So you just pop up on there. It's like free advertising. And then basically use this template. First thing is you're going to give a pattern interrupt in the comment. Second, you're going to speak their language. You're going to start really talking about how the pain that they have and kind of your experience, basically taking your frame, whether it's student, helpful, or expert. Then you're going to make a subtle call to action. And what I want to do is actually edit this to say, speak their language with your selected frame. Then you're going to make a subtle call to action after you're basically like, somebody could basically say, hey, I need help with lead generation. Who can help me? So I would comment and say, hey, look, lead generation is not something that is really that complicated when you really dial in on it. That would be like the pattern interrupt. Then I would say, if you're really looking to, I would be working from the expert frame, but we'll do each frame here. I would say, from the expert frame, if you're looking to basically get your lead gen handled, you really just need to understand who it is that you're looking to attract. And I would just elaborate on that. And I would say, look, you need to attract this person. So you have to speak directly to that person, dropping value, speaking their language with an expert frame. Let's speak their language with a student frame. It's like, look, I literally understand, like I have problems with leads as well. And I found this really, really good training actually that showed me how to get 100 leads overnight, or how to do blah, 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 or how to do this and that. And it's your lead magnet, whatever your lead magnet is. And basically it showed me how to do this and I'm learning it and it's really, really good information. I would really recommend it. Blah, blah, blah. And then you basically, that's your call to action there. You're speaking their language. And then really what you're doing is you're signing off, right? But we'll do one more frame, helpful frame. It's like, hey, look, I see you're having problems with lead generation. Something that was really helpful for me was this. I checked this out and I would recommend it. It's really, really good. And then basically that's your call to action. You're speaking their language. You're addressing their pain basically. And then you just sign off after the call to action. You say, look, you give them good wishes and you basically say, cool, like good question. Keep asking good questions, whatever you want to say. And then you sign off and say, best of luck, keep rocking and rolling, or whatever the hell you want to say. And then sign off Steven, whatever, Bo, or, Manny, or Sarah, or, whatever, right? Cure Paul, whoever. And basically the whole point is that you're answering the question in a really helpful way and you're over delivering in value based off of your frame that you've selected. Now, really, when it comes to the call to action, this is really what it looks like in template form. There is this blank, which is your lead magnet, that's really powerful and it really helped me solve my problem. Or there's this blank and it's really powerful and I really recommend it, or whatever. And then you insert some more value there and you're like, yeah, well, it really helped me with this, 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 and this. I can send it to you if you want. See, you're not saying, let me send it to you, please. You're saying, I can send it to you if you want. And then you insert a transition, say, look, by the way, like really good questions. Regardless, I wish you the best of luck. Anyway, I wish you the best of luck. Anyway, or by the way, keep crushing it. Keep asking good questions. Keep doing your thing. Whatever you want to say, like genuinely. And then you sign off. It's really, really simple. That's the call to action. So if done correctly, what will happen is essentially 1 or 2 people will comment initially, creating a cascade. And basically what this can do is these people are going to be commenting and saying, hey, I want that. Can I have that? And like, for example, maybe it's the guy in the post that was like, hey, help me. He's not going to even see your comment maybe, but a lot of other people will. And they'll say, hey, can you send it to me? Hey, can you send it to me? And you just come back, say, yeah, sure, I'll send it. Yeah, sure, no problem. I'll send it right now. And always like tag them in the comment, the person that comments, just so they can see it. So yeah. And that's really as simple as that is. And really once 1 or 2 people or 3 at most comment, it'll create a cascade where literally hundreds of people can start commenting. And we've had it where literally hundreds of people have. And most of the time these posts, they'll end up getting deleted or something because there's so many like hot leads embedded in there. You can't even find it. But it's just like, this is a way to really get your lead magnet in front of hundreds of very warm people very fast. And we've done this, literally we did this to launch Elevated Entrepreneurs when we first started to literally over $100,000 in less than 90 days, literally without spending a dollar. We didn't even collect any emails. We just literally sent them straight to our video. It was nuts, but it totally works. And ideally, you want to keep track of who you're speaking with in your DMs, so that way you can follow up appropriately. And we'll talk about DMs in just a minute here. But you'll want to keep track of who you're speaking with. So what I'm curious about here is, do you think that it would be helpful to have some examples, live examples? Because I think that that would be really good. So that way you guys can see this. The problem is that a lot of these examples, I've got screenshots of some of them. A lot of them get deleted because of the way of the nature of the posts, but you're not breaking any rules. But we'll really get some live examples in here. So what I'll do is I'll put in here, insert live examples. Okay, and we'll do that. Now also, would it be helpful, or do you think that it's pretty simple that you can keep track yourself, or would you like us to create some sort of log where you can keep track? If you think that it's easier to keep track yourself, put 1 in the chat box, or if you think it's easier if we were to give you a log, put a 2 in the chat box, just so I can kind of see what you guys are thinking about. Because of course you could just keep track yourself in some Google Sheet or in a notepad, but if you guys really think that it'd be beneficial, what we could do is create just like a generic log where you can start keeping track of people. It's like a CRM. That would be via like Google Sheets. But essentially, you can always get a CRM. And that's something else that we could talk about. And if you ever need a CRM, most of the time you're, like you're able to find one pretty simply. So yeah, that's why we haven't included that there. But yeah. All right. So let's keep rolling. 8:30. Okay. All right. Here we go. So you want to keep track of who you're speaking with, right? So a simple follow-up. Because what you're doing here is you're saying, look, I can send it to you if you want. That means you're getting in the DMs, right? We're going to talk about DMs. But really, if you're messaging these people, you're like, hey, I'll shoot it to you now. Basically, you're shooting them a message that says, hey, here's the lead magnet. I'm from the ClickFunnels group. Here's the thing that you asked for. Enjoy. Just being short and sweet. You can really prime them if you want a little bit, but I would just be short and sweet initially. So essentially, the first step of follow-up would be really just saying, look, like, how'd you like it? And you want to let a couple days kind of go by. And this is really a simple follow-up, but it works. But you want to send it to the people that ask, and then when they, whether some of them won't even open your message, some of them will open it and reply, thank you. Some of them will open it and not say anything. Basically, though, you'll get a mixture of that. And what you could do is you could message them like a couple days later and say, hey, how'd you like the lead magnet? And that's it. You don't have to be crazy. Hey, how'd you like the boom, whatever. Don't say lead magnet because it just sounds bad. But however, whatever it's called, hey, how'd you like the training? This follow-up is so simple. Simple is sexy. People respond to simple. They don't respond to super, super long, overcomplicated messages like, hey, dude, I sent this to you. I want to make sure that you saw it. It's this and this, and there's so much value. And you're like so needy and you're so like all over the place. Instead, simple. Hey, how'd you like the training? Easy, simple. It's basically like when people send me long, overcomplicated messages, basically at first my brain's like, okay, don't respond. This is a time suck because really I try to stay focused. And really what this will do if you do start doing this in follow-up is just going to hurt your rate of response. It's going to make you look weird and bad. So just be short and sweet and just be genuine. So now we're going to go over Facebook organic, okay? And really, like first, does anybody have any questions on that? It looks like we got some questions in the chat. All right. What is a CRM? It's a customer relationship manager. It's how to track client relationships. Nice. Really, really good. Yeah, sorry about that, guys. I muted the mic. All right, cool. I just want to make sure. Does anybody have any questions on any of that? Interesting stuff. We call it Batmaning. You might be wondering, like, why the hell is it called Batmaning? It's because you're swooping in like Batman. You're swooping in like Batman. You're leaving your mark. You're saying, hey, I could help you. And then boom, all of a sudden, hundreds, 10, 20, 30 people are just like, hey, can you send it to me? Send it to me, send it to me, send it to me. It works. We do it, and we've done it so many times, and it works every single time. So I really encourage you to do that. Now, Facebook organic. We're going to start diving right into Facebook. But all right, so let's dive in. So basically, guys, what you're going to do here is you're going to be able to manipulate your Facebook personal page. Really, the concept here is you've got 5K friend limit. You can go through your friends, remove the people that aren't in your target market, aka they're not going to be able to be helped by your lead magnet. And of course, you can leave family in there or whatever, but in reality, I use Facebook for business. I've got 5K friends on there because basically every single person is a potential person that could benefit from my service or whatever. Or, at the time of when, you're promoting a lead magnet, you want those people to be interested in that lead magnet, or at least you think that they would be. As many of them as possible, because each one is a potential chance for you to change your life potentially if you've got the right offer and product. So once people are cleaned out of your friends list, you can go into any Facebook group. You can go back to the congregation discovery sheet and go into the Facebook groups where your target market's hanging out, where the PTMMs are, and find posts with a lot of engagement. Basically what you'll do is you can add people for 15 to 20 minutes on those posts that have a lot of engagement. And those posts with a lot of engagement are people engaging. So first of all, they engage. Secondly, there's like the hottest posts in the group. So the people in that group that are engaging, they are all on that post. Is like 100 likes or whatever, 200 likes. Add like all those people that have mutual friends, at least a handful. The more, the better. However, 3 to 5 at least. And basically, you don't want to add someone who has no mutual friends because they probably won't accept you. And you always want to make sure that your Facebook personal page, in this case of using this method, is representative of you and what you're trying to portray. You want to make sure that your page doesn't just look like garbage. You want to kind of make sure your page is, tidied up. And basically, you want to watch your inbox fill up. That's really the strategy, is that you just add people for 15 to 20 minutes who are engaging in the groups where your target market's at. And just add. For literally, set a timer on your phone, 15 minutes, just add. Facebook might stop you from doing it because you're doing it too fast. Fantastic. Like, just, basically add a lot of people, and then you're going to get a lot of people messaging you. It's tried and it's true. Like, they're going to message you and they're going to say, hey, they're going to say a few things. We're going to talk about that. What's also huge is that as you do this, you're going to get a lot of new people in your world. So when you make sure your page is representative of what you're trying to portray, what you could do is post on your feed, on your actual page, with really good, relevant content that's not necessarily like, hey, enter your email here, but it's just like good content that the people you're adding would most likely enjoy. And this builds what we call street cred, which deposits into your audience's value bank account. So the value bank account is when you deposit and you can withdraw. So what you're doing is you're depositing value, and what you're withdrawing is money, energy, basically, but resources, money, because that's the only thing logical that you can withdraw. And really, basically, just like you deposit into a bank account, you can then withdraw from the bank account. You can't withdraw before you deposit. Same with relationships, and same with your audience. Deposit value to your audience in order to earn street cred, and then at a later time, you can withdraw that street cred from that value bank account, which is your page. But be careful, because when you withdraw, it wipes your account clean until you rebuild it again. So you say you withdraw, you basically added a bunch of value, and then you make an ask. You're like, hey, go do this. Hey, add in here, go here, enter your email here. When you do that ask, it will essentially wipe away all of the value that you've built up. So until you rebuild it again. So keep that in mind. And this is just another thing you can do as you're adding people, because they're going to see this stuff. It's really powerful, because those people you're going to gain street cred with. Now, these people, when you're adding a ton of people, they're going to get into your DMs. They're going to start messaging you. They're going to start asking you questions. And basically what you'll want to do is just, they're going to either say a couple things. Hey, why'd you add me? Hey, do I know you? Hey, nice to meet you. What do you do? The goal here is when these people pop in your inbox, they are all potential leads if you've added the right people. So take this opportunity to learn about these people and ask them really good questions. The key here, though, is to not look at them as dollar signs. You want to get to the root of their passion. Yeah, small talk's great, but only in the beginning. Really, the goal of the conversation is to find out where this person's passion's at, how they're doing, and how that's going. Are they working within their passion or not? And basically, if you can tie what they're passionate about to your lead magnet, then you could bridge the gap with your lead magnet in a very non-salesy way. It's like, hey, look, man, what's going on? Why'd you add me? Oh, hey, I like adding a lot of people that are like-minded and are entrepreneurs, and I like connecting. Okay, cool. Awesome. Where are you from? Oh, I'm from here. Oh, great. Cool. I know somebody there too. I lived there once, or I always wanted to visit there. You can always respond back with them. If they say, yeah, I live here, it's like, oh, awesome. That's cool. Not just be genuine though. If you don't think that place is cool, be like, yeah, that place sucks. I'm not saying to just lie. I'm talking about just be genuine. And then, eventually you say, yeah, so what do you do? It's like, yeah, I do this. Well, what are you passionate about? Is that what you're passionate about? Yeah, well, I do this right now. I do an agency, but I'm really passionate about travel. Oh, cool. Well, dude, that's really awesome. It's like, you should go and you should travel more. Yeah, well, I can't really do it. It's like, yeah, well, dude, I remember I really wanted to travel a lot more. And I started actually, really doing a lot of research on how I could do it, and actually found some really good information on how to really, do that from these two guys, or from this guy, or from this girl, or from this program, or whatever. And then you just bridge the gap with your lead magnet right there. Just like, oh, no big deal. Yeah, I could totally hook you up with that. I think you really love it. Yeah, dude, no problem. I love it. You get a lot of positive feedback when you do this right. Especially if you're keeping your head off of, yes, hey, I want to do it. I want to opt in. I want to buy. And you're keeping your head on accurate diagnosis, figuring out, is this a good fit for that person or not? So really the goal from this is just to find out what they need and help them find a solution for it. And if it lines up, you can send them your lead magnet. So essentially, again, you're adding a ton of people, and what it's causing is them to get in your inbox, and you're posting with really good content that people really love. And then that's building up your street cred. And then at the same time, they're getting in your inbox. Maybe some of these people already have street cred built from you because you've been posting and you've been giving good content. But even without that, people will get in your inbox with this strategy. Now, once you're building up your friends list, you're going to be able to do something called a comment ladder. And what comment ladders are is when you make a post with a call to action that says comment below for a free XYZ. Essentially, the post can be short, it can be long form, whatever. There's a lot of different ways. I've noticed that short form is a lot better because people see it faster. And I can go on my page here in just a second, show you. Basically, what you'll do is you'll make a post. You'll say, hey, who wants, here, look, I'll just show you an example. I'm looking at the questions here. How about a second profile for this purpose? Yeah, you could absolutely do that. An additional thing that you could do is, make a business page, but you're not going to get the same reach that you would with personal. And the goal of this is not really even long-term. The goal of this is initially just to get your proof of concept out there. So that way you could figure out, okay, I know how to share this now. This isn't something that you can really scale. However, you can make a lot of income with this. Jeremy says, I have two profiles on Facebook, business and personal. He spends more time on the business one. Facebook's not going to love that you have that, but you can get away with it. I wouldn't advocate it. However, do what you got to do. But in reality, if you're worried about saving face, just suck it up. Just get over it. Literally, you're going to be all right. People, it's just about having the right friends on your friends list, not all the friends from high school that are like, hoo, he's doing a business. It's you don't want those people around anyway. That's toxic. But look, here's a comment ladder right here. This is a long form one. And drop a comment below and I'll send it your way. Boom. We just shot what I believe the most powerful transformational content, blah, 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 blah. All this stuff. Same thing though. It's pattern interrupt. Speak their language, call to action. And then boom, people comment and they ask. And then I reply and I say, yeah, I'll send it to you. And actually, we actually had Colleen doing it for us. So that way we didn't have to do it because it does take some serious time. But in the beginning, you can afford to take that time because you're figuring out your proof of concept. So yeah, all these people are raising their hands, blah, blah, blah. Cool. And it goes on and on. And here's just a post for street cred. People see this, not that much engagement, but people see it and they see it and they're like, oh, cool. And if you're doing a lot of organic, it'll work. It just works. Here's another one. Street cred. Boom. So comment ladders, though, we'll find another really good one. Here's more street cred posts, another street cred post, street cred post. Boom. I think I might have skipped over some. But regardless, even this first one is really good. And just for the sake of time, I'm not going to spend scrolling here all the time, but we can include some more examples, and I'll put that here, right here. And yeah, so that's that. And yeah, so that's a comment ladder. Now, basically, like I said, a comment ladder is when you make a post with a call to action, says comment below for a free thing. So make a post, people comment, you reply, you tag them, boost the algorithm, then you hit their DMs with a message that says, hey, here's the lead magnet. So again, this is traditionally done once you've gained a little bit of street cred. It does require some engagement just so that Facebook can actually show the post. But also, if you're adding new people, Facebook will show your post to those new people to kind of test real quick to see if they'll engage and see if it's actually relevant to them. Because what Facebook's seeing is that, oh, these two new people are friends. They're making a connection. They must know each other. So you will get your post showing to the new people that you're adding just off default, which is cool. But again, once 2 to 3 people comment, same with the Batman strategy, you're off to the races. It naturally will grow and cascade itself as a byproduct at this point most of the time. So again, this is due to the human psyche. This isn't just some wizardry. It's just due to the human psyche. People hate on missing out on stuff. So really the goal with a comment ladder type post is to basically make a post with the vibe and energy that they basically can't not take advantage of it and comment. If you're doing that, then you're doing it right. And that could be short form or long form. So essentially, are there any questions on that? Doesn't look like it. I'm going to keep rolling. And also, guys, what I think would be helpful is examples, as many as we can get. So beyond just showing you in Facebook, really diving deep on those would be huge, I think. But even so, I think that you guys are really hopefully taking a lot from this. So now unlocking your proof of concept, this is the ultimate goal. Now, basically, once you know the how, like we just went through all these different strategies here. Where do we start? Boom. Started right here. Batmanning, Facebook organic, comment ladders, DMs, and basically these are the methods that we've used to do hundreds of thousands of dollars, literally. Batmanning is one of the biggest, Facebook organic being the other one, DMs being a byproduct of that, and comment ladders being a part of Facebook organic, just based off of street cred. You do a lot of street cred, you can start running comment ladders. Even without it, you can get away with it. However, it's a lot better when you do have some street cred. But these methods are huge, and they're not, just random. Like this is proven. And basically, that's going to be you. That's going to be you. Just kind of chilling, your message in a bottle. You're just, deciding where to go and who to help. So basically, once you've basically used one of these strategies to make your first referral, that's the key. That's the next step. Now you know the how. Go out there and get your first referrals. Nothing is stopping you besides yourself at this point. And, obviously any small questions you might have, which we would want to corner. So I do want to make sure we get all the questions answered. But nothing's stopping you besides yourself. Once you have your links, you've got the opportunity to make those commissions. That's it. And, of course, follow-up is key. So keep the simple follow-up strategy in mind. And really, ultimately, unlocking the proof of concept is the only thing that's important right now. So really, at this point, once you've already, you've got your links, you got your lead magnet dialed in, you've got these methods really dialed in, you're going to start using some of these methods to actually go about getting your first referrals. Now, if you don't want to put your face out there, what you could do is actually utilize the Batman strategy with a business page, which it's an interesting strategy. However, it works a lot better with a personal page. But if you really don't want to put your face out there, finding your proof of concept is really, you don't need to, it's really helpful to have your face out there for doing this, but you don't absolutely need to. There are ways around it. You can request into a Facebook group from a business page. And you can really operate from there. But this is not to scale. This is not designed for you to keep doing this forever. The goal is for you to have true freedom, but it starts with actually figuring out how to share and how to actually go about it. You can't just speculate that and try to scale a broken system. You got to figure out first what's going to work. And that's what these strategies are for. They're not for long-term really, because they're not scalable. You can make good money. You can make 10K a month with these. Absolutely. You can make 10K a month with comment ladders inside your messenger and from doing street cred value posts and doing Facebook organic and adding a ton of people from groups and doing the Batman technique. Absolutely. Like I said, we made over 100K in less than 90 days using Batmans alone. And everyone we teach it to, it works. So the next step is really just using one of those strategies to go out there and get your first referral. And once you do that, then you figure out, okay, look, I could do this. I actually know how to share this. I'm dialing in. I understand this, and it makes sense. And things are starting to piece together. And it doesn't cost any money, and you're getting yourself, some cash flow. And then that cash flow can be used to start scaling. Not necessarily scaling crazy yet. First, you got to build the structure, build the funnel, and all that. And we're going to talk about that next week. But really, here's the action items from this module. And it's basically, first, you want to identify the key areas online where your audience is at. Start hanging out there and start hanging out and kicking it, basically, with those people in those congregations. Get familiar in that environment. Perhaps even make street cred posts in that environment as well, which is really powerful. Now, secondly, you'll want to keep your RAS dialed in for people who could use your lead magnet. And that basically will help, with your lead magnet spec sheet, really just knowing that information really well. And your RAS will stay dialed in, and you'll always notice when you can basically use one of the methods we just covered to share your lead magnet, because that is the next step, is using these methods to share your lead magnet. And once you do that, then you can get your first referral. So really, I hope that that's clear, is like at this point, you're just going out there and you're using one of these or all of them. And you're just getting your first referral real fast, getting your first proof of concept. And that's the key. Then you really also, you want to know your frame, right? So you want to know in advance, like, do you want to take the student frame? Your frame may change as well. You want to keep that in mind. But for now, most people start at student, and then they'll eventually become expert. But you start at student, or you can go to helpful. But if you're already someone who's got experience, then you can play the expert frame. In reality, you pick your frame and roll with it. Then also, you want to use the methods for sharing that you like best. So like all of these, you might like all of them. Some of them you might be more inclined towards. But reality is Batman is extremely fast. Facebook organic is very quick as well. It's just really about being genuine, staying consistent, and committing to executing these methods whenever possible in order to achieve your proof of concept as fast as possible, which is your first referral. That's the only thing right now that you need at this point inside of the program. Is if you haven't made your first referral yet, you need that. If you don't have your product yet, you need that. But at this point, you would already have your product. So right now, your only goal is to simply unlock your proof of concept. Once you make your first couple referral commissions, you'll get some cash under the belt of your business. You'll have officially proven that you can share your product and how to share it. And you're ready to start fortifying that structure by building your bridge funnel, which would be next week. So some questions to ask yourself. By the end of this module, you would have identified a few places where people with a problem to magnet match for your lead magnet are hanging out. So have you done that? And obviously you probably have not yet, because you're watching this right now. But we're going to get you these worksheets, and we're going to get this all uploaded so you guys can go through this. And this will be filmed inside of the program, so you'll have that in there as well. This isn't us filming the program right now. This is just kind of a run through to see if there's any holes or there's anything I can make a little better. The next question is really to ask yourself, like, do you feel that you have your RAS dialed in? And is it dialed in on exactly who your lead magnet can best serve? So that way you can know where they're at and where they're coming from. Have you selected your frame? Do you know what frame you want to use? Which organic method or methods are you going to use? Answer these questions for yourself before moving forward. Are you ready to unlock your proof of concepts? Hope the answer is yes, obviously. If you're watching this right now, the answer I'm assuming is yes. If you haven't already done that. And are you ready to earn your first referral commissions and elevate to the next level? So essentially, remember, this is a very simple business model. Do not be afraid to get out there and share your lead magnet with the right people and change their lives with it. Because the more you share that lead magnet, the more opportunities you have to create change for someone else and to earn yourself commissions as a result. So once you find your proof of concept for sharing that affiliate offer, that's really the huge, huge milestone here that you want to accomplish. Because then you'll be able to build your structure around that message, and therefore you can then begin scaling what you've already proved to be a proven system. Now, everyone remembers the first day where they got their first affiliate commission. I remember when I did, and I remember making $2K, and I literally made $2K in a day. And like, I never even made $1,000 in a day before. And I was like, holy shit, like, this is real. Like, my life is really changing. Like, and I was walking around. I remember I was walking around like, I don't know if you guys have Publix near you, but in Florida, they have Publix, like a supermarket. I was just walking around. I felt like, wow, I feel like I know something that nobody else here knows. Like, and really you're learning a skill set that this has really never been possible before until recently. So like, you're really on the frontier and the cutting edge of an industry here that literally this will change your life. Like, you know, enjoy the journey. Understand right now, if you haven't made your first commission yet, enjoy the journey, because soon you're going to look back and say, wow, now that I'm earning commissions regularly, still nothing feels better than when I got that first one. And that feeling is just something I can't describe for you. It literally would be like trying to explain the sound of like the best orchestra you've ever heard in your life. Just try and explain that sound. I can't. There's no way to do it. So you just have to feel it yourself. And that's really the key. So overall, that is the end of the presentation. I know you guys, most of you guys have sat here throughout the whole time, which is amazing. I love it. So I'm going to see if you guys have any questions here. Yes. So Kirpal asks, shouldn't we have a product picked out before both these modules apply? Which module would that be in? Yeah. So last week we dove deep on finding product. We gave you every single method in which that you can do that. And I actually even posted live finding a product, and I got like, I don't even know, 10, 15 responses of people trying to, you know, get fitness products in my inbox. So, you know, all those methods work, and that recording is in the group. Andrew's actually editing the official recording, because what we did is we took that recording and we made sure, okay, look, they responded to this in the right way. This is working. This makes sense. This makes sense for them to do this, this, and this. And that recording is in the Facebook group right now. If you just go in there and just search bootcamp, it'll come up and you'll see it. Basically, you could watch that, but also inside the course, we're showing you how to find products. But absolutely, yes. So this is week 2, sharing your solution. Basically, you'd first be in, you know, week 1 finding your product, because without a product, you're not going to have a lead magnet. You're not going to have a lead magnet, and then you don't have a product, right? So, yeah. So hopefully that makes sense. What I'll do is basically, guys, we took around 2 hours even for both of these presentations. Do you guys have any specific questions or anything that you think would be more helpful for you in certain aspects here? Maybe certain examples, really as many examples as possible that we can get of all of this stuff, and they're all out there. So we could definitely do that and collect those and really compile those for some more reference. That would be my initial take. But yeah, looks like this got cut off here. Because recently it's crazy. Like, comment ladders, they work. We recently did this over and over again, like about 4 times to do a launch of about 50K, where we launched a funnel for people. We were literally created a funnel and built it out for people and helped them by doing that. So like, you know, it totally works. And it's something that you could definitely utilize to get your lead magnet out there. So I'm going to stop sharing for now. I'm going to give you guys just a moment. Do any of you have any questions about this? This has all been recorded. And overall, I'm really, really stoked to be bringing this to you guys. Do you have any feedback, any thoughts, any sort of thing you want to mention? All is welcome, because this is really for you guys that, we really want to make this the best that we could possibly make it. Everything in the current course is this same sort of information, except now we're just putting it into slides and really making it a little different sort of way to consume it, based off of what we're seeing is the best. All right. I don't see anything. Okay. Jason says, I appreciate the amount of depth you go into about everything listed here. Yeah, of course, man. I really, really want to, give you guys as much as I possibly can. And the more detail oriented, the more structured, the more sequential that it could be, the better. And I really just want to make sure that somebody can come through this program and really get the result that we are, wanting them to get, which if you follow this, if you stay close to the fire, obviously every single one of you that's on this call right now, I know that you're going to get results. I know that you're going to get results because you're all here. You're all here for 2 hours on a Sunday. You could be out watching some sort of something. You could be watching Netflix. You could be doing something. You could be like, I'll just catch the recording, which is so easy to do, right? I always used to do that. I would always be like, yeah, I'll just watch the recording. And guess what? I would never watch the recording. So, I appreciate that you guys are all here. I can tell you're all serious. Anthony says, I took what you said and the guy told me he'd be willing to give me a shot at being his affiliate. Sick, man. Well, dude, always too, like if he's like putting in that position of like, yeah, like I'm the big guy, you're the small guy, like might not be the best fit. I mean, like as long as he's like someone who's good and someone who's legit, like then I would spend the time. But keep in mind, man, there's way more benefit for him than there is even for you. Because you can go out and you could find so many different products. But just keep that in mind, man. Know your value in that sense. And I'm not saying that you don't, but just making sure that you keep that in mind. But congrats. That's huge. Really, as soon as you find a product, that's it. And Andrew has literally made the most comprehensive training that I've ever seen on finding products. So I'm really stoked for you guys to get that. And you should be getting that. He's literally, I think, uploading it right now. So really, really excited for that because that will supplement this information very, very well. Yeah. Andrew wants to say a couple things.
Hey guys, hope you guys are doing well. Looks like you guys are kicking some ass, specifically Sarah. Just want to give you a quick shout out. I don't know if you saw, Steven, but Sarah basically took that method of posting in groups and of memes. Sarah, that meme was fucking hilarious. She posted in Arnie's group, the Millennial Entrepreneurs, and it was really good. So very well done, Sarah. So yeah, guys, as you can see, like, as Steven said, the new program is rolling out. I was just editing the video now. The amount of time and attention to detail that we're putting into these trainings is another level from anything we've ever done. So, if it's taking a bit longer, like if, it might be out tomorrow, you guys hopefully get your logins to the new sites tomorrow, but just have some patience because we really don't want to, and I know you guys are, I just want to say this, we don't want to rush this. We want to make sure that this is as close to the perfect training as possible for you guys. So just keep kicking ass, guys. Hopefully these boot camps are really helping and showing you the new flow. And it sounds like everyone is off to a great start. So really, really excited to release this to you. And yeah, on top of that, hope you guys are just having a great night.
Nice. Good stuff. All right, guys, we're going to wrap this one up. Tomorrow we have a Q&A at 2 p.m., I believe. Should be at 2 p.m. Yes, it is. It is indeed. We have the Q&A tomorrow at 2 p.m. Eastern. So if you guys want to take some of this information that you learned tonight, I'll be posting the link to those different sheets. We might also maybe wait until it's just all posted in the new program site area. It might be easier than you guys kind of having it all scattered. So I don't know exactly. I'll make a decision on that. But basically, I hope that this information is something that you guys could digest in a way that makes sense. And when you guys have access to this to where you can go through it multiple times, I really believe that this is going to help all of you to get amazing, amazing results. And regardless, like Sarah, amazing stuff, like really proud of you. Sarah just joined the program, and we just spoke about hitting the ground running. So I'm so stoked that you're taking massive action and that you're following, following the methods. Because really, guys, like all this stuff, we don't teach anything that we haven't tested ourselves a lot. So in reality, when you test something that we're giving you, if it doesn't work for you, you just need to do a couple different tweaks. That's what the Q&As are for, getting that feedback. So take action, and we will see you guys on the next Q&A. All right. All right, guys, I'm going to go ahead and end the session. The recording will be up as soon as possible. We're going to do a batch upload as always at the end of the week. We'll get those other Q&As uploaded as well. All right. Much love to all of you guys. Hope you have a great night. Talk to you soon.